Hello everyone, I'm Master Silver and welcome back to showing off my art. I didn't get to the final video yesterday, so we're going to show off the last maybe 20 plus, because I don't know, I didn't count properly. But we're finishing up the first generation of characters, right? So we're going to start off with her. Alright, so first up we got my paper Birdo. It's got a cut right there and a cut right there. I made this one bigger than I initially intended to. Like, I didn't expect it to be so tall when I first made it. But yeah, so not much to be said. Like I said in the previous videos, I don't like having to color in big parts of the body with the same color. It gets quite boring, but I did it anyway, and so this is the turnout. And otherwise, there's not much to say about Birdo. So next up is an older one, and that is the Bullet Bill. This one you can see is old because at the time I didn't understand the concept of having a black outline of the inside of the body when it was already going to be black. So I did one outline, it's not that good, and this is it. This is again one of the first I did. It wasn't affected by water, so it's not as old, but it's still pretty old. So yeah. Now speaking of bullet bills, we have the Bonsai Bullet Bill. The Bonsai Bill, sorry, which, if you know, is a bigger version of the bullet bill that can be seen in numerous videos of different YouTubers playing different Mario games. And so this one I did a lot better. I added the extra outline for the black, even though it's kind of pointless. And yeah, there's no cuts on this one anywhere. There's a useless black Sharpie outline right there that goes like that. But yeah, there's not much I'd change with this one. So that's the Bonsai Bill. Next up is one that I found based off a picture on the internet, but did my own tweaking to it, so it's kind of like my own, and that is Sonic. Now Sonic, he's got a cut right there, because it didn't fit on the full page, obviously. And I think I did pretty good, like making a paper version of Sonic. Yeah, he's got the blue, he's got the stomach, the shoes, I modified it a bit. And yeah, so there isn't any other Sonic characters in this generation, but in the second generation, I did a lot more characters. So, yes, that is Sonic. Alright, next up is, again, a more recent one. Sonic was also pretty recent. Princess Peach. The only princess I did in this generation. The only thing I really don't like about her, well, actually there's a couple things. First thing is that, I don't know if the camera's picking it up, but I accidentally taped her face a little too far from like the rest of her body. So there's a big gap, like a see-through line right there, that actually the camera you can kind of see it. And also her shoulder looks like it's disjointed because it's not up more, which is what I try to fix with the newer princesses that I use this one to trace. So there's a cut right there, obviously, because of the line. And yeah, that is just about it. That's all I can say right now. But I'm using her to make a lot of different princesses and all that, like Princess Rosalina and Princess Daisy, but none of them were made in this generation. They're all made later. So yeah, that's Princess Peach. Next up is the Toad, the first Toad that I made when I remade Toad. So I used the Red Rescue Squad Toad, the bad one, to make like the size of the Toad, but I made all the details by myself and it turned out pretty well. And I used this one to make the green toad and the yellow toad. There's no cuts on him. He fits on one piece of paper, which is very, very nice because it's a lot easier. And yeah, so it's just a plain old toad. It's just a normal toad, right? Smiling, having his way. There's a lot more toads in the second generation. But yeah, that's just about it. I just realized it's kind of fitting that I did Toad after Peach. Kind of nice, actually. So next up is Hammer Bro. He's got a cut going down that way and a cut right there, obviously, because I used Boomerang Bro to make this guy. And I think I talked about that a bit in the first episode, maybe, where I talked about how I used Boomerang Bro to make someone that I will show eventually. I'll just put the clip right here if I can. And I used him to make a different character, which I don't think we'll get to in this episode. But yeah, if there's one thing but yeah, that I made Boomerang Bro first, like I said, because he's my favorite of the bros. And I did Hammer Bro second because it just made sense, because Hammer Bro is the most common version of like all the bros. He's still not that good. Like the shell is kind of screwed up in terms of placement. The eye is still a little messed up, but I fixed him up when I did Fire and Ice Bro in the second generation, which you will see eventually. And yeah, so he's just holding a hammer. Got that pointless gap there for no reason. Otherwise, yeah, that's Hammer Bro. Next up is Monty Mole. Now, he has a cut right there, and the one thing I changed about this one is how careless I was when I was like making it, because I thought I had it perfectly, but then when I taped it on, I realized that this part, I'll try and hold up. As you can see, the top of the nose is a little, it's not fit on properly, and also it's outlined in black. So there's two mistakes right there that if I could go back, I would fix, but I couldn't. He's also got a cut right there, like on his hand, his nail thing. Otherwise, that's just about it. He's doing his famous jump out that he does when he pops up out of the ground. But otherwise, it was pretty decent doing him. A little bit annoying. Excuse me, with all the brown that I had to use, but ultimately it was pretty good. It was pretty good. So that's Monty Mole. Next up is the one that I was originally going to start off with in like the one that I was originally going to start this episode off with, but I didn't because I don't know. Now, I must warn you, this is the first character I made when I came back and started doing this like as a dedicated thing that I did all the time. So when I first came back, this was the first guy that I did, and I guess I should show you. It's pretty bad, but again, there was no picture of this online. I was making this all by myself, so you gotta give me a bit of credit. It's Baldy. Yeah, with his one stray hair on the top of his head, his eyebrows, and his weird smiley mouth, and his green shirt, and his ruler that he likes to slap around a lot. He's got a cut right there because I couldn't fit his whole thing on his face. But I did this because I was watching Dan TDM's not Hello Neighbor, sorry. I've been watching Jacksepticeye's Hello Neighbor recently. I was watching Dan TDM Baldi's Basics because that was when the update came out that he made a video on showing off that crazy new teacher and that other student that I don't remember the name of. So, but yeah, this is Baldi. I think I did pretty well for my level at the time. I mean, I don't know if I would have made the ruler a bit bigger. I really don't know. But yeah, it's just smiling Baldi. Next up is good old PD Piranha. He's got a cut right there. He's got a cut right there, and he's got a cut right there. And yeah, a lot of people like this one. I haven't really asked why. Maybe it's the color patterns. I used 4 different greens to make this. There's 1 green, there's 2 greens for like the rings on his lips. And those 2 greens are used to make his body and his legs. And then there's 2 darker greens that I use to make his hands, I guess. But a lot of people like it, so I don't know why, if it's like that or if it's like the petals, because the petals I find were quite good. I also kind of like how I did the lips. I think I did the lips pretty well. But yeah, that's PD Piranha. A little flimsy. Very easy to damage, but luckily I haven't yet. I haven't been very careful with all this stuff. There's a gap right there that I cut out. Yeah. And that's just about it for PT. He's a recent one. I did him after I did Baldy and all that. So, yeah, there you go. That's PD Piranha. Next up, and this was a semi-annoying one, Thwomp. This guy took a lot of gray, which really wasn't that fun. He wasn't that fun to do simply because of how much of the same color and how big the spaces that I had to color in. That part wasn't that fun. The majority of them fit on 1 page, but there's cuts right there, right there, right there, right there, right there, right there, and right there. And right there, right there, right there. So basically almost every spike except the corner ones had parts that I had to fix up. I think I did his face pretty well. I think I did his body pretty well. I think the worst part is probably the spikes, but the spikes, they were just repetition, and I get kind of careless when I have to do repetition and I get bored. I think that's most people anyways, so yeah. Otherwise, I don't think I really changed anything about the Thwomp. I think I did it to the best of my ability and the best it's gonna get, so yeah. I also like the different shades of gray that I use. I think that really added to it. Next up, this one is one of my older ones, and I don't really like it that much. It's the Chain Chomp. I did the dislocation thing, or the disconnected thing, where I used the see-through tape to connect pieces that aren't really connected, and I did that for the chain. And so there's a pointless black line right there, and I really messed this one up, but I try my best to do it.
Why's your door closed, CJ?
Pardon?
Why's your door closed?
To give me some privacy while I show off my art.
Pardon me?
To give me some privacy while I show off my art. Anyway, sorry for the intermission. He took a bit of gray. It wasn't that fun. I'm definitely going to do better chain chomps in the future. But this was the only attempt at chain chomps so far. And it's kind of disappointing. But it was from me way back when. It's an older one, like I said. So, it's obviously not going to be that good. And next up, we finally get to the Marios. Now, the first Mario... Actually, I'm going to show off this Mario first. So this was a Mario I made based off of the other Mario. This is a more recent Mario. I made this the same time I made Cappy. Because the image that I found to make Cappy showed images of a Paper Mario with a Cappy on, so I used that. It was pretty good. But yeah, this is my Mario with a Cappy hat on, from Mario Odyssey. Now I want to remake my Mario, like I said when I made What I said about Luigi, I also believe applies to Mario, because I want to remake him, because Mario, I feel like I stretched his body too much, you know what I'm saying? Because this part is technically where it's supposed to end, but now it just drags on right here, and so it makes him a little bit lengthier than he's supposed to be. Like he's got a beer belly or something, I don't know why. So I really want to I'm going to redo Mario before I do Paper Mario with all the power-ups. So this is just I guess technically the old Mario, or I guess it is Mario until I make a better Mario. But there's a cut right there. His colors are more vibrant than the Mario you're about to see, because the Mario you're about to see is, well, it's an old one that I made around the same time I made Wario, Waluigi, and Luigi. And so, yeah, that's really all I can say. That is Mario with Cappy. And next up is regular Mario. Like I said, the colors are definitely more vibrant on the newer the Mario with Cappy. He's got the same cut right there, except he's got a hat now instead of Cappy's eyes. But like I said, the body stretched out a bit much, so I'm gonna redo Mario and Luigi and do a different Wario. Wario version 2 is what I'm gonna call it, because technically there is no paper Wario, so I can't do a better one. I can only hope to do a different one. Same with Waluigi, it'd be a version 2 because there is technically no paper Waluigi. Whereas Paper Mario, I can do newer because these ones aren't that good. This is like old, so not much I can say about this one that I haven't already said about that one, considering they're practically the same other than the hat and the colors. But yeah, that is Mario. And finally, last but not least, we have Super Smash Bros. Own Master Hand. Doing his famous point thingy that he does. He's got a cut right there. This one I found really interesting for some reason. At first when I was like drawing it on a pencil, because it looks kind of different when I'm drawing it compared to when I cut it out. Because when I cut it out and then I look at it, it looks, I can kind of see it through a different perspective. It's hard to explain, you know? It's like, because on paper it can look very weird. I can't see it specifically because I can see all the paper around it. So it looks bigger than it is. It looks different in a way. Or at least maybe that's just me. It looks different in a way than what it does when it's cut out. And when it's cut out, it looks almost more fleshed out. It looks just more like how it's supposed to, how my original intention was supposed to be. And this one really caught my eye. Like, I would do other drawings and I would keep this one on top of all the drawings. Oh, yeah. I'm gonna just restart. I used to keep this one because I use this bin, right? I have it right beside my desk. And this is where I put all the new drawings. And so this one, I would just take out, put the new one that I finished on, and put this one over. Because this one I just found really appealing when I cut it out. I don't know why. This one catches my eye as something that I really like. I guess because I like the fingers, and I like how it actually looks like. It actually looks like he's pointing. And I can't explain, like, how this is appealing to me. I just find it is. I know it's just black and white, but it's still. And if I didn't mention already, there's a cut right there. I don't remember if I did or not. I've been rambling on for so long. And so now all I gotta do is Crazy Hand, which is just gonna be this hand except different. In a different pose, I guess, is probably easier. But yeah, so this is Master Hand coming to get you. This is one over here, so when I do Crazy Hand, yeah. And so in the bin, if you're wondering what's in here, there's just a couple things that I'd like to show you. To end this off, considering this is kind of like a short video. So I'm gonna just show you like some stuff that I put in this bin. And what's in this bin is just Paper Mario characters. Specifically, two that I'm about to show you are really bad. But like, there's an explanation for it. Because the two that I'm about to show you came before like everything else. Like, they were the first. This was even before I planned to start doing this. This was like years before. Basically, my mom made me go with her to Temper Tamers, but it was actually just a meeting for the parents, which she didn't know. So I was there for no reason. So this guy, I don't remember him, I don't know what he looked like. He brought me to this back room where there was all this drawing and stuff, and he had this printed out copies of Paper Luigi, because they ran out of Paper Mario. And since I love Mario, I was like, oh sure, I'll color it. And so I did, and then I grabbed another one and I colored a Mario off of Paper Luigi. Like, I made a Paper Luigi into a Paper Mario, and I was really young and dumb, and I had a bunch of others, but I ended up going to my grandparents' house and I threw up on them, so they got destroyed. So these are my last two remaining ones, and they're kind of special to me. So the first one is my Paper Mario, which, as you can already tell, made off of a Paper Luigi. And there's no backside to it, unlike the others, because like I said, I made this before it was even an idea that I would make them into a real thing. So yeah, he's got the outline of Paper Luigi, except I scribbled on another bump to make it look like Mario's stash. I tried to make an M on his thing, and I don't know why I made him shoot a fireball. So it's just taped popsicle on the back. And that is my OG Paper Mario. And next up, obviously, would be Paper Luigi, the other one, the actual thing. He's holding a hammer for no reason. I think it was because I have been playing Mario and Luigi games, and in the Mario and Luigi games I have the hammers that you can use. So I guess that's kind of why I didn't find anything else to use it. He's got a bent hand. Like I said, these are old, so they're kind of damaged a bit. And, yeah. So it's just these two. And they're very special to me, but they're also very old, so they're not very good. So I just thought I'd show those because they're kind of like a little bit of the OGs. That's just all I can say. And about the Goomba shoe, actually I have the Goomba shoe over here, give me a sec. The Goomba shoe, this is what I was talking about. When I said the Goomba shoe, if I can, I'll put the clip right here where I said that. Goomba shoe, it has this, and I said I could put heads in it, and I can. See, I have 5 different heads that I could put into the Goomba shoe. I have a Goomba, obviously. I have Mario, because these are all from like the new Super Mario Bros. Games, right? I did the guys from the new Super Mario Bros. Games, New Super Mario Bros. New Super Mario Bros. Wii, sorry. So it's Luigi, obviously. Yellow Toad, right? And Blue Toad. And so basically, you take the popsicles and you stick them. I don't know why I gave them 2 popsicles. It would have been much easier with just 1. And I don't know why I made it so complicated, but I did. You just slide them into paper bags so they don't go flying off anywhere. And there you go. You have Luigi in Paper Luigi in a paper Goomba shoe. For no reason whatsoever. So there's that one. And I will be making a Princess Peach head, like one of these. Because, or I guess I'd have to make a Toadette as well. I'd have to make a Peach and a Toadette because of Peach, you can go in a Goomba shoe in Super Mario 3D World, and Toadette because of Super Mario Maker 2, and maybe New Super Mario Bros. U. Yeah, that's Luigi, so I guess I'll do Blue Toad next. This one's a bit wider, so I gotta... Give me a sec, check the clip. Oh god, Toad, come on. But yeah, so... I don't know why I made it so complicated. I was young, dumb. And so... It's not the best system in the world, but it works, I guess. So there is... Also, I found it neat. The color of the popsicles is coordinated with the color of the person. So I thought that was pretty cool. But yeah, there's Blue Toad, obviously. So do Goomba next, the owner of the Goomba shoe. Sorry. Like I said, not the best working system I've come up with before. But what can I say? I'm an artist. I'm supposed to be weird. I'm supposed to be able to do things that no one else can. of a hassle. But here's the Goomba, right? The Goomba and the Goomba Show. Next up is Mario. Also, thank you for all the subs. I know 22, 23 subs is not a lot, but it's a lot for me, so I thank you. I thank you all for that. And there's Mario. It's all nice, snug like a bug in his Goomba shoe. And finally, Yellow Toad, which is gonna look the same as all the others, just a head and a Goomba shoe. But I'm showing it because I feel like it, and because it's the end of the Super Mario Bros. Super Show. Just kidding. Yellow Toad. So that was the first generation of showing off my art. Not too shabby, I don't think, but I don't know. It's a trial and error process that, you know, requires a lot of resources and a lot of attention. And if you're wondering what these are, I will show them in whatever time I make the second generation, because that's where those are from. So yeah, I guess that's it. The video seems short enough that I'll be able to edit it, which means I will be able to present you guys with some insight on some of this stuff. So thank you all so much for watching. I'm Mr. Silver, and like, comment, subscribe for more of this, more vlogs, more gaming, and more random stuff. Yeah, whatever comes. And I will see you all soon.